Sophia the robot has been making headlines all across the world. But did you know there's a lot more to it than just the name Sophia? There is a reason why they chose that name Sophia. The name Sophia belongs to a pagan deity. It belongs to a pagan god by the name of Sophia. Now, what does the name Sophia means? This name Sophia in Greek origin, it means wisdom. Now let's take this one step forward. What type of goddess is this Sophia? This pagan deity. Sophia, the goddess, is recognized as the mythology, as the goddess of wisdom. Also in the cartoon animated show known as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sophia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not referred to as Sophia as the goddess of wisdom, but rather Sophia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is referred to as the goddess of rebirth. I want you to know we are talking about one and the same being. It's the same Sophia. They are depicting Yu-Gi-Oh! In the same Sophia that is known as the goddess of wisdom. Here's the interesting description of Sophia, the goddess of rebirth. See, when you look at the card of Sophia in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it looks nothing like a human. It looks rather like a goat. It looks like a goat that has wings. Furthermore, when you look on the left shoulder and on the right shoulder, it appears to look as something that resembles a serpent. This does not look like a woman at all. If you look at this image, it looks rather manly. A manly looking goat. That is until you look at the chest, and you can clearly see that a big major hint as to why they call this deity Sophia, the goddess of rebirth. Because if you look at the chest, you will clearly see that this thing has breast, and breast belongs to a woman. This being is half woman and half male. But when you go further down below the breast, you'll see that the belly appears to look bloated. In other words, this being is pregnant. Note to self, this is demonic. This is a devil. But that does not make any sense. Why would they call this being Sophia? Hold up. I want you to start thinking. Which being can you think of that looks like a goat? Yes, this thing has breasts of a woman, but it also looks like a man. In other words, this is a humanoid being that's half goat and half male, or let's just say half human, that's half male and half female. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, or really should come to your mind, is Baphomet. That is the being that fits the description. Speaking of Baphomet, what does that name Baphomet means in Hebrew? Here's the definition. Baphomet, rendered in Hebrew, interpreted using atbash. And this is interpreted as the Greek word Sophia, meaning wisdom. So there you have it. Baphomet in Hebrew, atbash, translated as the Greek word Sophia, which means wisdom. Now, speaking on Sophia's name meaning wisdom, did you know that the serpent, its meaning is also wisdom? So what is this breaking down to? You are about to find out in just a moment. The serpent, its symbol in the Bible is wisdom. Now these words that I am getting ready to speak comes directly from the lips of Christ Jesus. Join us to the book of Matthew chapter 10 verse 16. Join us to the book of Matthew chapter 10 verse 16. And the word of the Lord say, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We can clearly see the serpent. His symbol is actually a symbol of wisdom. The Bible also says in the book of Genesis chapter 3 that the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord had made. There's a good reason why Satan picked the snake and used the snake to deceive Eve, which ultimately led to the fall of the human race. Now, let's do a quick summary. Sophia means wisdom, and Sophia is a goddess of wisdom in Greek. And at the same time, Sophia is also referred to as the goddess of rebirth. Next, we just found out that the serpent, its symbol, also means wisdom. Now, one more connection that we must try to connect is this. Does the snake also symbolize rebirth? Let's see. Historically, serpents and snakes represents fertility or a creative life force. As snakes shed their skin through sloughing, they are symbols of what? Rebirth. Keyword, rebirth. Transformation, immortality, and healing. The Ouroboros is a symbol of eternity and continual renewal of life. So you clearly see that in their occult, the symbol of a snake is rebirth. Now I'm going to put this into perspective. Now, we just found out that Sophia means wisdom. Likewise, the symbol of the snake in the Bible is wisdom. Number 2, Sophia is referred to as the goddess of rebirth. In other words, Sophia can also be translated into rebirth. Likewise, we just found out that the serpent, its symbol in their occult, is rebirth. Third, we just found out as we went to the Hebrew language and we just searched the name Baphomet, it translates from the Hebrew to the Greek word Sophia, which ultimately translates to wisdom, the goddess of wisdom. All of this is pagan. Sophia is no different than Baphomet. That is the reason why in Yu-Gi-Oh! I just showed you the card. It says Sophia, the goddess of rebirth, and yet the face of that being, that devil, does not resemble a woman. It doesn't resemble the face of a woman. It resembles the face of a goat. It's all for a reason. Sophia, the goddess of wisdom, is Sophia, the goddess of rebirth, which is ultimately pointing to Baphomet, which is half human and half goat, which is half human sides, which is half male and half female. It's all pagan and demonic. Here is a quick, easy question. Who is Baphomet? Most of you should know this by now. Baphomet is a symbol of the devil. Baphomet is simply Satan. Satanists and devil worshippers, they sacrifice to Baphomet. They sacrifice to the goat. They tend to worship these deities that has horns like a goat. And they sacrifice people, celebrities, and they sacrifice animals to Baphomet. It's all in the name of Satan. Now, the main question is now, what does all this has to do with artificial intelligence or AI and Sophia? I'm hinting robotics. Well, of course, this is something of reptilians' origins. In other words, it is something that's actually of the origins of the devil himself. This has everything to do with the diabolical agenda of a new world order. All of this is pointing to the satanic beast system to come, which is spiritually already here. But things are going to be ran by AI. The serpent is very dangerous. Do not entertain yourself with the serpent. Do not entertain yourself with Sophia. Do not entertain yourself with this robot. Do not entertain yourself with the devil. Why? Because the devil will bite you. AI is simply going to establish, quote unquote, all-seeing eye that would be able to have futures of facial recognition software that would be able to keep an eye on everybody. All of you will be marked and put into the system, and you will be watched, and you will not have your privacy. All of these things are going to come with artificially intelligence. In summary, it is diabolical and sinister, which is very evil. Be sure to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in to my channel. This is the home of the truth, Brother Kwame and Team Jesus. It is time for y'all people to wake up out of y'all ignorance. Like I said, all the information is right here in this Bible. It is time to learn this Bible and put down false doctrines and throw away all false teachers and come subscribe to the Home of the Truth channel, which is Brother Kwame and the Team Jesus. We are coming harder than ever, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are out. Shalawam.